Let's talk anime. Hello and welcome to Brandon's Discuss Anime, a Reckless Amoeba podcast. I am your host, Brandon Horvath, and with me are my co-hosts, Brandon Falinger.
Sorry, I was fighting the parallel dimension demons. I'm busy at the moment. I'll be back.
Be back soon. The podcast already started.
I don't think you understand, man. Look, man, all right. They got to be fought. Otherwise, the darkness will take over.
Let me just grab my umbrella and I'll help you.
I'm taking my sword from the Ren Fair, man. I'm getting serious with this shit.
Yeah, we're gonna briefly cover that in the intro, but
Excalibur thirsts for blood.
So does Martha.
Oh, God. That would be a great cosplay, coming in as one of the Varl for the Ren Fair. That'd be great.
Also with us, Ryan Stokely.
I'm the umbrella.
You just poof it open, it's just Orion's face.
So, Brandon, I can't believe I fought back asking you this question for about a month now, but have you watched the new Higurashi yet?
I have not. However, I have heard that it is not, in fact, a remake.
Right.
It is more than a remake.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like, from what I've been hearing, it's a fucking Final Fantasy R bullshit going on.
Yes.
Like Final Fantasy VII remake shit. Sorry.
I haven't watched episode 5 yet, which came out a few days ago, but it seems to be the same arcs, but different events play out.
It sounds like this may be a 2021 Halloween special episode at some point.
2021 Halloween?
Yeah. We might use this one.
Oh, okay. Now I know what you mean. Like,
since Halloween episodes are hard to come by, honestly.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, but it may have 2 seasons, so...
Oh, perfect.
So 2022!
We'll see.
Yeah. You should really watch it. It is really good. Episode 4 left me on the edge of my seat because just the difference of it makes me go, what's happening now?
It's that drastic.
Let's just say Rika remembers everything.
I mean, didn't she always?
And Keiichi, wrong pronunciation, but he also vaguely remembers what happened in Arc 1 original.
Interesting. I feel like by the end they had they didn't have all their memories, but they had deja vu feelings.
So that's what seems to be going on. Because he remembers murdering Rika and Mion. But it's just a 2-second flashback.
Mm-hmm.
So
here's a question quick. I know you're only 5 episodes in at this point. Four episodes in. Let me just ask this first because I'm curious. Do you think you need to see the original series to catch up with this one? To be able to watch this one?
Yes and no. Yes, because you would recognize some of the bits in the 2006 version, like when he remembers the murder scene for 3 seconds, but no, because it's original and standalone enough that...
It can't be both, though. You either need to watch it to be able to follow this, or you don't.
Oh, so to follow it? No.
Okay.
But it would help.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of the same reaction I've heard from other people that have mentioned it. Has been like, hey, you'll appreciate this a lot more if you've either read the manga, watched the series, or played the game. like either one of the three. But like it doesn't seem like it's absolutely necessary. However, it's way more appreciated due to knowing the twists and turns already that are going to happen, or that would have originally happened.
Because the twists don't play out.
Yeah, they play out differently.
Like, and just one small spoiler for episode 3. You know where Keiji goes to the clinic and gets a shot?
Yes.
The clinic is under construction. Sorry, can you go to another clinic now?
That's not in town?
And Keiji walks away complaining, saying, but this is the only clinic that's close by. So he doesn't wind up getting the shot.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody who didn't watch the original, yes, him getting a shot is important.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering what events won't play out in 2020 that will change the story.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious.
Jumping back to the Ren Fair, we had a great time. We all got some gifts from it. Some really raunchy comedy. Well, you got a poster, Orion, and you got Excalibur from Fate's Stay, Brandon.
Of course. I've been waiting on that thing for like 5-6 years, trying to find a place for it, and now it's sitting there looking me in the eye and being like, you should buy me. And I'm just like, it's a lot of money that I don't want to spend.
So I guess that's for my end of things. Brandon, Ryan, anything on your ends?
Not much, really.
I had off, so quick. I was supposed to go to be in Gettysburg for most of the week. I was going with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
We went out to dinner, and we all got salad with our meals, and we all got food poisoning.
Oh, great.
So
don't go to that restaurant again.
Yeah, we had to. We were going to Walmart because it was right across the street to grab some stuff that we didn't bring. And while we're in there, I had to go to the bathroom, like number 2. And I'll try to make this as least
as tame as possible.
So yeah, I was in there for like 5 minutes, like just spraying the back of this toilet.
Oh my god.
That's I just said I was gonna try to make this thing.
Yeah, Ryan, come on.
So
was it Twixberry pudding?
Was it Twixberry pudding?
Yeah. So while we're in there, my dad just like tell my mom to hurry up because he had to go to the bathroom, which neither of us heard, but this is what he said. So we're like, another like 20 minutes. My dad's like pissed off. We have no idea why. So we get to the car and he goes to go in and he's like, oh, I shit myself. And he just sits in the car. He rolls down all the windows. It's pretty bad. And we're fucking pulling out. The windows are down. We're pulling out of a busy Walmart parking lot. My mom didn't hear him because she was getting in the car. So she's like, "What's the matter, Bob?" And he yells at the top of his lungs, "I shit myself."
Oh my fucking.
There
weren't more like open toilets at Walmart?
He didn't want to go in Walmart, I guess.
Oh, what the shit, man.
To like the motel or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
It seems like a real wow. Yeah. This is your pride backfiring.
My mom's like, why didn't you go in there? He's like, oh, that's why. Yeah, he didn't have to go to the bathroom the whole time. It was like right when we were leaving.
What did he like shart himself? Like he fart shit himself?
Yeah,
okay.
Basically. Yeah. Because my mom asked him and he's like, I didn't have to go in Walmart while we were in there.
That's the worst. That's terrible.
No, that was the first night there.
Oh, that's a great start.
Yeah, we just my dad felt really sick, so we just went home.
Oh my god.
I mean, it was raining anyway.
It's kind of been a miserable week, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I may or may not have edited that part out.
All right.
No, it's fine. Can't be any worse than the poetry. Speaking of which, Orion, I didn't get to send you this. Apparently, the dude has his own YouTube page.
Oh, really?
He has his own channel.
Okay.
So the poems are up there.
Yeah. I guess we really can't talk about that other story that you shared with us, Brandon.
I would say not really. It'd get real bad real fast.
Yeah, I would say it would need its own video that's 18 plus.
You'd need to bleep a whole bunch of stuff.
We just blurred out anime. They're just a cartoon version while it's playing. Oh,
Just get a blurred out Bible Black anime playing in the background.
Oh.
Oh man. So, what anime is this?
Yes, as we've dragged the entirety of this show through the mud.
Which
So actually, you know what? I want to try something new here for a second before we get into this.
Okay.
I'd like to try a thought experiment for a second. Let me ask you two beautiful people this, all right? After you've talked about, your dad sharting his pants. So let's lay this foundation. You found yourself a nice girl, right? Or whichever type of person you would be interested in. Okay, I assume it's women. And they, things are going great. You're having a good time, and say this is maybe the second date, right? Things went really good. You go back to their place, and it's just you stay there on the bed. I'm gonna go in here and freshen up. Go in the bathroom. And you lay your head back on the pillow of the bed, and it feels a little weird. You look at the pillow and you try to fluff it up or something, and all of a sudden you see hair just in the pillow, human hair. Do you just get out of there right then? Do you wait for the person to come back and ask, or do you just be like, no, I'll wait on this until after the night's done?
Immediately. If it's human hair, at least.
Well, it could be their hair, for example.
It could be. It could be. We're not drawing any conclusions yet on those details.
But yeah, for the most part, I'd be out.
So you just leave right there, and then you wouldn't even wait for them to come out of the bathroom.
That's psychopath behavior. Yeah. Even if they never killed anybody, that's psychopath behavior.
Now, let me ask this. All right, what if they tell you, right, that they're into holistic medicine and stuff, and this is one of the kind of things that they do for it?
Sleep on hair?
Yeah, I don't fucking know, but this is just an example. Just say that's something that's a holistic medicine kind of thing, supposed to help you sleep better.
Yeah, I'd have to see it written down or somewhere, and from their mouth, just a second opinion.
So the pillow is all hair.
Yeah, let's just say the stuffing of the pillow is hair. Yes.
Okay, then that would be too much for me.
Okay, even with that explanation of holistic medicine and stuff.
Maybe then I would have
would you? Well, then here's the question, because you still haven't answered. I think this part was would you leave immediately, no questions asked, just gone?
I would have them explain. I would have them.
Or would you wait for the explanation?
Yeah, I would have them explain why do you stuff your pillow with human hair, and then I would be follow up question, goodbye or not. So maybe is my
then let me ask this, right? Because what part of it is getting to you here? I'm curious.
No,
is it the fact that it's hidden and they didn't mention it at first, or is it just the fact that it's hair?
Maybe just the fact that it's hair. I thought you meant if there's hair on the pillow, not in the pillow.
No.
Oh.
It's like the stuffing.
Yeah, I caught that after you explained it a bit, but yeah, but all depends on what their answer is and what my follow-up question leads me to think about them.
And Orion just doesn't give a shit. There's hair there. I'm gone.
I'm out. Nope.
Then let me ask you this one then. All right. Let me follow up with this. All right, because I'm curious. What if there's just a candle there? All right, it's just laying out. Everyone can see it. You know, you saw it when you come in. You could even ask them before they even go in to freshen up and just be like, "Huh, what the fuck is this?" It's a candle, but there's like toenails in it. Like it's like in there with the wax.
Why are you asking these questions?
Dude, any fucking chunk, like piece of a body that's not supposed to be there, then I'm out of there. If I see a chicken bone like on the ground,
Chicken bone?
Yeah.
What? This the trash can and it's just laying there and you're like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, just a big old thing of chicken bones. Oh no, man. I don't like it.
What about you, Brandon?
They could have missed the trash can and didn't know about it, so...
But what about the candle? Back to the candle.
Okay, the candle is weird.
It's weird, but maybe they collect those weird esoteric things that you find in like weird shops like that.
What is with these questions? Like, what are you leading to?
I'm just curious where people's like interests, not interests, but like where the walls are and things just suddenly you want to turn on. I'll be honest, I got this exact like line of questioning more or less from another podcast I was listening to. Like it just cold started on this kind of a conversation, and I'm just like, what the fuck did I walk in on? This was supposed to be a video game podcast.
So, let's go back to anime.
I would like to blame the Let's Fight a Boss podcast.
Screw you guys, even though you may be a good podcast.
It went pretty good because the one guy's just like, I'm pretty dense. I'd just be like, wait for the end of the night because, you know, he thinks he's getting some.
Oh my god. Okay. After Higurashi shit story and like body parts in places where they shouldn't be.
I wouldn't consider hair body parts.
Let's talk anime. And today's anime, Ryan, is Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions.
What's it called?
Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions.
Is it a book? Is it based off a manga?
It is.
Yes, it is.
Why does it feel it's like about like a wizard or something? Wizard boy? Wizard girl?
It's just Harry Potter, but with love.
Yeah, love on the Spectriolum. You guys like that joke? No,
Pedron, stop.
Love on the... Alright, so... yeah. And then, you know, the wizard... I don't know what questions you were asking, Brandon. But I assume they have something to do with this.
Absolutely nothing.
Okay. Well, now my idea's ruined, but I'll just stick with it. Is this supposed to be a scary? Can I just get a clue? Is this scary?
No.
Well, yeah. This wizard still falls in love with one of the other people there. It's like a college for wizards.
I mean, so far it just sounds like you're describing Harry Potter.
Yeah. But then he's in the bedroom, and he realizes that the person he's with practices evil magic, and he gets turned into a toad.
Uh-huh.
Because he tries to escape.
So does this turn into the Toad Prince then?
Yeah, and then like it follows him as a toad.
Having toad adventures.
Yeah. And then he realizes that he's been a toad his whole life.
The curse was really being human.
Well, you are like 1% right that it deals with love.
I mean, it's in the title.
Yes. And this wasn't a manga, this was actually a 4-issue light novel series. So, yeah. This deals with a first-year high school student trying to eliminate his past of being a Chunibyo, which is somebody with a really, really, really overly active imagination, Brandon. Kind of.
I think the direct translation is like 8th grade school syndrome or whatever. Something about like that. And yes, it's about someone that essentially is like living in their own little world.
Would LARPers be a good American example of Chunibyo?
If they took LARPing to the point of like displaying it out in outright public, like during their normal lives, yes. Like you walk into school and you're just LARPing while you're in school, like completely. Like regardless of whether or not somebody else is doing it with you, like you're LARPing the whole time.
All right, so these people pretend to be something they're not.
Essentially, like they create their own persona.
Okay, and they it's like if a furry was just a furry the whole time.
Look at it that way. That's another way to look at it. If they're like got the furry suit on the entire time and they just act as that character,
and
like in everyday life.
Describing like the characters in this.
Yeah. Our main character used to be one, and he wants to eliminate his past because he's now a high school student and he doesn't want to be embarrassing like that anymore.
He wants to be a grown-up adult man.
Except he meets this girl who is first-year high school student, 10th grade, and I'll get into this later, but first-year high school student, full-on Chunibyo.
Mm-hmm. Still completely immersed in her own little world.
And I listened to the English dub, and she calls herself the Eye of the Wicked Lord.
I'm still not a big fan of that term. In the Japanese subs, she calls herself the Wicked Lord Shingon.
Wait, that's what she likes to be called?
That is how she refers to herself. I personally think the Wicked Lord Shingon is a much better term than the Evil Tyrant's Eye, because it just sounds better.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Ingon is a Japanese, like Shingon or something is a Japanese for eye, but it almost sounds like, and this is coming from an English speaker, obviously, Shingon almost sounds like it's the name of the Wicked Lord.
Yeah.
Whereas like as a Wicked Lord, it almost has more of a fantasy quality to it. Whereas the Evil Tyrant just kind of feels like, oh, he's just an asshole that rules over people.
Yeah.
And I did listen to some of the Japanese dub, all the supplemental material, which there is kind of a lot of. There's like there's 3 short miniseries, and I listened to those all in the Japanese dub, but all the main stuff I had in the English dub. And our main character, Yuta, used to be the Dark Flame Master. On his first day of high school, he becomes the Dark Flame Master for like 30 seconds just to purge it from his system, and Rika notices it and falls in love with the being of the Dark Flame Master because that's so cool. And well, maybe not falls in love instantly, but says like, hey, you Chunibyo too. You the Dark Flame Master.
What the hell?
It gets even better because like there are points where like you transition from just, you know, plain average everyday shit into suddenly the way they're viewing the world through their like Chunibyo lenses, essentially. It's like when you put on drunk goggles and you see how drunk people, you know, see the world.
Yeah.
Like the audience gets to see, oh, this is the way they're viewing things. Like one of Rika's weapons is an umbrella, but it's some kind of giant, massive fuck off weapon in like her world.
So when I said in the beginning, I'm going to grab my umbrella, yes, that was a reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we 25% lied, but this has really nothing to do with fighting demons.
They do reference that stuff like at points, but it never actually happens.
Although there is an evil priestess. Rika's older sister.
Who wields a ladle.
Who is not Chunibyo at all, but she fights against them using her ladle to extremely aggressive degrees sometimes.
Well, I mean, she likes using underhanded methods too, like fucking blackmail.
So much blackmail.
Like, you have to imagine she just has recording devices set up fucking everywhere with the way she gets this shit. Like, either that or cameras. Like, to the point where you need to question, like, does she just have an entire spy network set up somewhere? Like, what the fuck?
Because what was it in the, like, first or second episode? It's like, how did she pull out the recording of the Dark Flame Master from 2 years ago?
1 year ago.
Wait, what were they talking about that led to that?
I forget what she wanted him to do in that first couple episodes. But like she pulled it out as a threat to be like, I'm just gonna upload this on the web. And he's just losing his mind at the idea of that being out in the world again.
Rolling around frantically on the floor.
Screaming to make it shut up and go away.
And he also keeps screaming the word embarrassing. Oh my god. And I'm just going to tease this to be revealed once we talk about the other characters, but did you know, Brandon, this anime has at least one anime exclusive character?
Oh?
Oh, wow.
Which one?
I will get into that a little bit more once we talk about the plot and more characters. So,
let me also point this out because I didn't realize this until I talked to a friend of mine last night. Apparently, this was also made by Kyoto Animation, which is that place that burned down last year.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
yeah, I found that out as I was watching the movie. I'm like, Kyoto Animation?
Good on them for making good shit. I'm hoping they're recovering well. However, you know, the global situation.
Yeah.
On top of that,
Yeah.
it might not even be.
But yes, you were saying we were going to go on now as like they slowly have their misadventures and fall like deeper in love with each other.
Yes. And can we just talk about Rika's good friend?
Uh-huh.
How she has extremely long pigtails that she imagines is Mjolnir.
So, Orion, I want you. Do you know what Sailor Moon looks like, right?
Yeah.
So twin tails like that.
Okay.
And on the end, she has like weights tied to them, and she swings them around like bolos.
Okay. Whoa.
And throws them at people.
Okay.
But she calls it the Hammer of Mjolnir. So She is Thor's hammer.
And she now and then gets tangled up in her own hair.
It's true. Because it's spinning.
There is Nibutani, who is she wants to be like the queen bee of the school. She's like
She's kind of like female Yuta, except she wants to be in charge of people and like be important and essentially famous within the school for the most part.
And she, in the past, was a priestess named Mori Summer.
Also Chunibyo.
Very Chunibyo, except she wants to forget about it too. But Dekamori is a huge fan of Mori Summer and always calls Nibutani fake Mori Summer.
I forget if he mentioned it or not, but Dekamori is Mjolnir's hammer. That's who that is. Yes, she also carries around like Nibutani went to the like ridiculous degree of deleting like web pages and texts and everything and burning it all.
Yeah.
Except Dekamori was so much of a fan of her as Mori Summer that she had everything printed out and turned it into a book.
Multiple times.
Oh yeah, she's probably got like a flash drive filled with everything.
There's also a person who is narcoleptic.
Yep.
And where they pretend that they're a strobe light. Oh wait, a narcoleptic? Did you say narcoleptic or epileptic?
Narcoleptic.
My joke still stands.
Right
now.
This one is not Chunibyo. She is in fact the oldest. And she is constantly falling asleep.
Wait, yeah, did you hear what I said?
No.
That she's a strobe light?
Yeah, but then I took that back and now I said, is she a my pillow?
No, but she probably carries one. She carries all sorts of pillows around.
I would just have a neck pillow on all the time.
And our other main character who more or less disappears in the second season is Ishiki, who is just a average high schooler guy who just stares at girls all the time.
It's true. He's very interested in finding a relationship. And I feel very bad for him because he just gets shit on. Like, he's got a good part in the first season, and then in the second season, he's just like a bit character that shows up every now and then, and I'm like, he just gets shit on every time, and I feel bad.
Yeah, and in the finale movie, he's only there for like 3 minutes.
one scene. He's like there for one scene. And I'm just like, of all the bullshit, he's here. 1. 2, he's still getting shit on, and I feel bad. Like, why don't you just give him something?
Yeah.
Like, is he the extra character that's not in the manga?
Okay, get ready for a huge drop. Dekamori is anime exclusive.
I'm sorry, what?
Dekamori is anime exclusive.
Plays such a big role, though.
Rika's sister is anime exclusive.
What the fuck?
And Kumin is anime exclusive.
Alright, Kumin I can understand. She doesn't really do much, I'll be honest. Toka, I find that kind of hard to believe. Dekamori is damn near impossible the way she's, like, intricately related into the plot.
It was just Yuta, Rika, Shinka, and Tsuchimiya. And Ishiki.
So did the people who wrote the manga also help with this anime?
Light novel. And I would say, well, the light novel was published by Kyoto Animation, so I would say they had a hand in making it, but I would say the anime is loosely adapted from the light novels. So very loosely adapted.
Yeah, no, fucking Dekamori's hard to believe just because of how intricately she's related. Like, plus, then we lose out on all the fucking amazing comedy of Dekamori just beating the shit out of poor Nibutani.
Yes!
And them fucking trying to murder each other half the time.
I do have a theory I'll get to when we talk about the movie about them, but
what, that they might be interested in one another and just don't want to admit it because they're super tsundere?
yes.
It kind of feels like that, doesn't it?
Yes, because it does seem that Nibutani might be somewhat bi.
But we can't have that picture getting out, man. She's gonna pull off the mosaic next.
Oh my god. So
just keep in mind, all right. I just want to point this out. I know I'm jumping ahead here, but she never gets rid of that stuff that she has. She can keep pulling that out. She still has all that blackmail by the end of the series.
Yeah, but I was shocked to find out Dekamori and Rika's sister are anime exclusive.
Feels so weird that they are.
Yeah.
Because, like, where's the comedy then outside of just Rika being awkward, like, at certain points? I can't imagine. Like, the story would have to be so drastically different. Because even Nibutani wouldn't have anything then. Like, what's her role anymore?
Well, she is a bigger character in there.
Mm-hmm. And, like, what does she do? Like, her entire shtick in the anime is basically putting up and dealing with Dekamori.
Well, maybe in the beginning parts, it's about Yuta kind of falling in love with her, like he was in episode 1, 2, 3, maybe?
I don't know if that was love so much as just like, huh, that's interesting. Like, you know, she looks cute. But there never really seemed to be anything that pushed there as far as like his feelings.
Yeah. I was reading that Chunibyo, which we'll get into a little bit later, she was slightly more of a stalker. Sort of, kind of, but not really.
I mean, the way she got around, I could kind of see that. Because she always seemed to know who everyone was, like prior to them going into high school.
Yeah. I did read she did kidnap Rika for Yuta to fall in love with her.
See, now that's an interesting bit. I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed, like, hearing that they didn't go with it in the anime or like build off of that idea a bit more.
Yeah. I don't think they got translated into English. I just did a quick Amazon search before we started this, and I really couldn't find anything, so maybe there is, but probably not.
It might just be fanlations then.
Yeah. So there are 4 volumes from June 2011 to December 2017. Each around 300-ish Japanese pages. So I'm not too sure how drastic the difference would be with the translation.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 seasons of 12 episodes plus a bonus OVA, which is canon for the most part, and a 96-minute movie at the end, with a middle movie after the first season that recaps the events of season 1 from Rika's perspective. And there are about 17, 18, 4-minute side stories that are all played for comedy rather than the whole romantic comedy, slight bit of drama now and then. Like trying to teach Rika how to play volleyball, which is hilarious. Since she constantly wears an eye patch to cover up her wicked eye that she won't take it off, so her depth perception is so far off.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's how deep into character she is. She will not take off her eye patch.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Weird or normal for Chunibyo?
I guess normal.
Right. So throughout the 2 seasons, they fall more and more in love with each other, and they wind up dating and eventually living with each other by the start of season 2.
Well, let's also bring up like the end of season 1, where you find out that the thing that sparked Rika's whole Chunibyo thing was two things. It was seeing Yuta doing it about 2 years, I believe, prior to the start of the series, and thinking it was really cool.
Since she lives 1 floor above him in their apartment complex.
Mm-hmm. And the other part, the main part, is that she was going through a traumatizing time after having lost her father. I believe, I forget what it was, like to sickness or something, right? Or was it an accident?
Yeah, sickness, I believe.
So yeah, there was that as well. It was a coping mechanism more than anything else, it seemed like.
And since she was so young when it happened, they didn't really tell her until the last few days that, hey, dad's gonna die. Because when you're like 7, you don't want to throw like dad's dying on you when you're that young.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a rough one to hear.
And then season 2 introduces another Chunibyo, who is also in love with Yuta. Who actually caused Yuta to become Chunibyo.
Huh.
Yep, she was the spark for him.
What was he again?
The Dark Flame Master.
Okay.
Although he seems to still be into it somewhat, because whenever he sees like a fantasy looking gun, he's like, oh, this looks so cool.
Like, yeah, he's still not completely over it, and now that he's dealing with Rika, it's kind of like sparking back up again.
Yeah.
Even though he's still trying to be a normal person.
Okay. This is like a weird show.
Oh, yeah. It's funny as hell, though.
I would say it's a romantic comedy with hints of drama and fantasy.
Like, you had mentioned at one point, I forget who it was exactly, but I believe you had mentioned it was like, somebody had told you it was a harem, and I'm like, I don't remember that being the case.
Yeah, our supposed guest who watched this show, I think she said several times, and she said in her mind it was a harem. I would like to know her thoughts on why she thought it was.
Yeah, because there's only really 2 girls that are interested in the main character at any point. Like, none of the other ones have any romantic interest in him. Like, you could maybe argue there was one with, like, Nibutani, maybe for, like, half a second. But really, like, it's only Rika, and then in season 2, Chimiya shows up. And, you know, there's kind of, like, rekindled feelings of interest there with her. But outside of that, there's not really anyone else that's, you know, looking anywhere. Like, even in the opposite direction, like, there isn't even anyone else that's looking at Yuta that way.
Yeah, any questions from you, Ryan, before we cover some of our favorite moments?
No, I think I get it.
Get the general gist.
Yeah. So what moments did you really enjoy from this, Rhiannon?
I mean, anything with Dekamori and Mori Summer just like trying to murder each other, those were always perfect. I loved those every time.
And like the sliding soccer kicks they always pull on each other.
Oh yeah, her just like Dekamori just coming out of nowhere, just like slide kicking fucking Mori Summer and taking her legs out from underneath her and just like crashing to the ground.
It seems that other people will do it sometimes on each other too.
Occasionally, I guess, yeah.
I think Rika did it once to Yuta for some reason.
I forget if that was in the movie or if that was just in the series. I would like to ask this though. Did the movie have any real point to it?
The final movie?
Yeah. Because, like, what really happened?
You didn't see it? I thought you said you did.
Oh, I watched it. I'm just asking from a story perspective, what's changed with the movie being there?
I will say, since it's supposed to be the conclusion of the series, it kind of puts an end on things because, okay, spoiler, they have their first kiss at the end of the movie.
They've kissed before.
Just on the cheek.
No, they kissed on the lips before in the movie, or in the series.
No, they did not.
I'm pretty sure they did when they signed that contract. Under the bridge.
No, remember, it was, Chimera had kittens, and they were just about to.
I mean, either way, my point is, has the relationship really evolved? And I don't think it has. They're kind of in the exact same position that they were at the start.
But it seems that Rika evolved more past being a Chunibyo.
I still don't think that's the case, because she's still a Chunibyo by the end of it. Hell, the fucking last thing they said in Toga is quite literally, we want to be in love and like Chunibyo or something like that, right? I don't think it's changed. It feels like the movie itself, while entertaining, was ultimately pointless from the story perspective. Nothing has changed.
So you didn't like the movie?
I said it was entertaining. I just don't see what the point of it was when the storyline hasn't altered. Like, they've not moved anywhere. They're still in the same situation. Like, yes, we've just reaffirmed the fact that we are going to, like, have our relationship, and that's it. They haven't gone anywhere else.
Huh.
Hell, even the other characters don't get as much play as I would play. So, like, I actually mentioned this to you before, but, like, the other characters don't really go anywhere. They're just kind of there to support Rika and Yuta, and that's it. Like, they don't really do anything.
And then you see how Dekamori could be anime exclusive.
Well, even Nibutani doesn't do anything. Like, doesn't matter. You don't really explore their backgrounds at all. None of them.
Right.
Like, the most you get out of them is like, oh hey, we get to see how some of their rooms look, and it gives you a hint, but nothing else comes of it. Like, Mibutani's got a room similar to Yuta's, where it's like, okay, she lives in an apartment house, kind of like he does, it seems. Who else was there? We don't ever see Kumin's room. We see Dekamori's room, and it clearly looks like she's got a lot of money. She like has a 4-poster bed, a shit ton of stuffed animals everywhere. You know, she's fuck it. She ate a fucking steak during the movie, or it's like that's got to be expensive for like a high schooler to get.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just sitting here like, clearly Dekamori's got money. Like, her family has money. I'd love to know why she's Chunibyo. Like, is it just that she thought Rika was so cool doing her shtick? Or is there like something else in there, like with Rika, where it was a father, like the dying of a loved one that triggered it?
I'm half guessing A, it's because she thinks Rika is so cool doing it, and B, she may have a crush on Rika because she got super, super upset once she found out Rika was in love with Yuta.
I mean, it's also the idea of like, well, here's the same thing, right? That shit happens with people here, where it's like you're spending so much time with your girlfriend that your friends suddenly are like, "We never see you anymore, man. What happened?" It could be the same shtick there, where it's like, "I don't want you to go away just because you're in love with this guy. I still want to like be friends with this person."
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be a romantic interest.
And there is the scene in the Christmas OVA where Nibutani and Dekamori accidentally kiss.
Oh yeah, and somehow Toka just has blackmail of that moment. Was she flying a drone in Japan while she was in Italy? Like, how the fuck did she get that picture? Does she have somebody spying on them just constantly, like for hire?
With Toka, you'll never know.
It's like, where are you getting all these things?
Oh my god, I will say Toka may be one of my top 3 favorite characters in this anime.
Mm-hmm.
But Rika, best girl. Rika is best girl.
I'm gonna be honest. I have a hard time making a choice between Rika, Dekamori, and Shichimiya. I have a hard choice. I like all of them a lot. Dekamori's just fun in general. Shichimiya is like, I feel so bad that she has to give up on her own interests for someone else to like have the shot because she fucked up the first time. And then you have just like you have Rika, who's obviously the main character, and you're meant to like really enjoy her at all times.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, my point, like, actually rolling back, we still haven't really answered the point of the movie seems pointless because nothing has changed.
Like, I feel, and I know you feel differently, but I feel like it more expands and compounds their relationship.
I just don't see it. I just do not see that at all. It feels like they left off at the same place that the series did.
Although it seems that way, kind of, but I feel that Toka feels better about Rika now than she did at the end of season 2.
Maybe?
Because the movie is Toka is in Italy now and wants Rika to move down there with her. And
well, see, she also kind of manipulates that, doesn't she? Because at first it's like it was just going to be the spring break she was going to be there. Or at least that's what she led Yuta to believe. And then they come home to find like all of Eureka's stuff is being put into a moving van.
And then it's like, no. Like, we're going to move permanently. Yuta's like, I can't have this. I'm going to elope with Eureka and run away and have some cross Japan trip, like chase movie. Yeah, like
you supposed to like tie up any loose ends, or
see that's where I'm like running into issues of like, does it really change anything? Because it feels like it hasn't wrapped up any loose ends.
Yeah, I will say like 99% of the loose ends got tied up at the end of season 2. So like the finale movie is just there to be a finale.
Okay.
Although there is one episode where Kumin kind of becomes Chunibyo because
2. I would argue 2.
What was the first one?
The first one is probably when she inherited the Lord Shinganzai for that one point.
Oh, yeah.
Like when Rika's having that struggle.
Yeah, and she
at the end of season 1, I think it is.
Yeah, and she gives up being Chunibyo.
Yeah, to make her family happy.
Although it's making her even more upset.
Yeah, it makes her more miserable.
And then we have a school competition between napping clubs.
Oh yeah, they started a club that's called like the Eastern Magical Society sleeping club because they didn't have enough people and they needed to incorporate Kumin's plan in order to like have a full club.
The Far East Magical Napping Society Summer thereof.
Yeah, there you go. That entire title.
So Ryan, napping club.
Would you join a napping club?
No. And I like to nap by myself.
And these have siesta competitions.
So this you can nap the longest without napping over a certain time.
I mean, it's napping, it's the way you nap and the position you're in. It's like it's a whole thing. It's literally down to all of the style.
Honestly, I could see a dumb anime being based off napping competition.
And then somehow the people from the other school have a collective dream with our main characters where everybody has Chunibyo powers for some reason.
It's a dream, man. All right, don't knock it.
And they even have in their regular Chunibyo delusions, they call attacks.
Well, I mean, of course, right? You know, you got to call out your attacks. That's what gives them power.
And what did you think of Rika using a rope to descend the balcony?
What do you mean?
Like, instead of using the stairs.
I mean, I guess it felt appropriate. I mean, she was technically running away from her sister at the same time.
Yeah. And Yuta always, like, catches her by her feet and, like, step down onto his balcony.
Yeah, gently sets her down.
Aw, so cute. Yeah,
to be fair, I'll be honest, all right? So, that same situation happens with Shichimiya at one point, except it's Rika helping her, like, get her footing. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, is the love triangle going to be like, this girl's interested in Rika now? Like, I kind of got that feeling at first. Because you saw the same exact situation play out with someone else.
Yeah, and the movie is, like I said, a cross-Japan trip to keep Rika from moving to Italy. Only we find out that Toka's getting married to some Italian guy, and move permanently is her way of saying, come down for the wedding. And Rika does move one floor above where she used to live. So, 2 floors above Yuta so that they can see them anytime.
To be fair, all right, the end of that movie is Toka, like, throwing the bouquet. And I'm just sitting there, like, with that ending, I'm like, did Rika just jump off the edge to catch it? Because it just shows her, like, over the top of an ocean. And I'm just like, is she gonna fall in the ocean?
Because Toka just chucks that bouquet.
Oh, yeah. And the final scene makes me feel like she's gonna fall in the ocean, because it's like, it's right there. There's nothing underneath her. She's just gonna fall.
And did you see the post-credit scene of the movie?
I did not.
Okay, it's a recreation of their first meeting, and, like, Rika descends the balcony, Yuta catches her, as usual, and she says, like, hey, Yuta, want to see my magic? And he just cuts there.
I thought the first line was, do you want to see my eye?
It was I.
I thought so.
Because Tsuchimi said, do you want to see my magic?
Yes, Shichimiya said that.
Yeah. But she kind of has a very flirty way when she said it at the very end of the movie, so...
I mean, she is a magical devil girl. Oh, no, you're talking about Rika.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm like, but Shichimiya is a magical devil girl.
Who fights angels!
Yes. Well, hey, look, man, she got it from Eva, all right? Gotta kill those angels. They're not good.
There are 12 light episodes, as they're called, that are just basically jokey episodes like Rika takes Yuta's little sister to go shopping to make beef stew and all the shenanigans that happens there. A water balloon fight and between Dekamori and Nibutani, and they both wind up freezing cold and are forced to take a hot bath together.
The hell?
I mean, there's communal bathing in Japan. It's a thing.
Yeah, there is an episode where Kumin is asleep under a heated blanket and refuses to move, constantly moving around all ends of the blanket while sleeping.
I mean, it's so comfy.
Yeah, so there is a lot of other stuff too. So I will say I highly, highly enjoyed this series.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I had only ever seen the first season. I didn't realize there was even a second season, let alone a movie. I mean, I would recommend it.
I do know Chunibyo does pop up in like one or two scenes very, very briefly, like background character in the first movie, which recaps the first season. So not all that much. Oh. I was reading about Dekamori's stalker. She does pop up in the background throughout the second season until she shows up.
Oh, shit.
Yes, because she knows Dekamori is a fan of Mori Summer. And so she's like, I'm the real Mori Summer. Come here, my young disciple. Let me purify you. And being all creepy.
All stalkery.
Yeah. To which Dekamori is saying, like, fake Mori Summer saved me.
Yeah, that had to hurt her pride a bit.
Yeah. But I still think, and it was a little bit cemented more in the movie when they wake up, like, holding each other. And I'm like, are they lesbians? Because they're chasing after Rika and Yuta because Toka's blackmailing both of them. So they go to a hotel, find out there's only one bed, they fight over the bed, and they go like, no, I get the covers, and they find, like, fine, share the covers, and then they wind up in sleep, like, cradling each other in their arms. And Dekamori's head is resting on Nibutani's cleavage. When they wake up, they're like, why are we like this? Toka manages to sneak into their hotel room, takes a picture of them, and says, like, now I have more blackmail for you.
She goes like, I should just upload these now.
Toka is the best.
Toka don't give no shits.
But also the worst. Oh my god. Although it's romantic comedy, which may not be your genre of choice, Orion, would you have any interest in watching this?
Not really. It sounds like a cool idea, but no.
Okay.
It's just like, I don't know, too weird, and I could like watch something else that's not
as weird.
Yeah.
But come on, man. You're watching fucking Gravity Falls. That whole show is all about everything being weird.
Yeah, but this is like, I don't know, man. Like people having mental illness.
Well,
or doing just things that like a kid would do in their free time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Because, I mean, that's literally how I used to play when I was a kid. We didn't have really much of anything. Just pretend to like be like Alice in Wonderland or something,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd all just like pick a character and.
Oh, there was one part in, I think, mid-season 2 where it's Rika's birthday, and after all these problems happens, it's like 7, 8 p.m., like really late in the day, and Yuta gets her a present, a new umbrella, since hers was getting beat up. And she says, yes, it's the latest model of the Schwartz Shield, Mark III!
Speaking of which, that didn't make an appearance in the movie.
Right!
Oh, I should also point out I noticed something else that was also weird. So remember when Nibutani was dressed as Mori Summer blocking the staircase?
Yes.
The minute she's knocked down and they get into the elevator and Nibutani comes running back to the elevator as it shuts, she's dressed back in her normal outfit. I'm like, you changed real quick.
I missed that.
Yeah, no, she's back in her normal outfit. And it's not just take off the shawl or the veil that she has on. It's like she'd have to replace her hair clip too. And like the arm accessory that she has.
Maybe she just slid it all in her pocket.
Yeah, but she has on her normal hairpin. Like she'd have to hairpin that in as she's running or something.
Well, maybe she slid it down a bit and put her normal one and took the Mori Summer one off.
I'm just saying, if they're chasing after them, she's not going to take the time to just sit there and make this change happen real quick. She won't have the time if she wants to keep those photos from being on the internet. That's my point. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was 2 seconds to get up and chase after them, and you took that time to change? That's kind of insane.
Oh, and just one thing that I felt didn't get brought up enough, Nibutani and dogs.
That only happens at the one episode, doesn't it?
And in the Christmas OVA.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't have seen that one. That's right.
Okay, Dekamori does have a dog that is named Cerberus. And yes, it does have 2 fake heads on it.
Yeah.
Just singing. Dogs are cool.
Yeah, so dogs do not seem to like Dekamori.
Nibutani.
I guess that's all for this episode of Brandon's Discuss Anime. Come back with us next time when we discover the strength of the earth.
Okay.
Gotta get real tough.
Okay, later.
Bye.
Later, guys.